for those of you just joining us, this is the opening day. It is June 22nd, 2017. Opening day of the State Bar of Texas annual meeting for 2017. We're here at the beautiful Anatole Hotel, the Hilton Anatole. And our guest today, this moment, is Brian Cuban, the author of this book. You know, Brian, you've had an amazing story. I know your life has taken a complete turnaround for the positive. You've been in recovery, and you've been sober now for, is it 10 years?
I had my 10-year sobriety anniversary April 8th of this year. And it's funny, if you would have, to be here keynoting a track of the State Bar Convention, the Adaptable Lawyer track, if you would have asked me if I would be doing that 11 years ago, I would have just looked at you like you were from Mars. Interestingly, I saw in the State Bar Journal, they had an advertisement for my talk. 11 years ago, I would be scanning the State Bar Journal to see if my name was going to show up as disbarred or suspended. I was more worried about that than, that seemed more likely than seeing my name speaking about recovery 11 years later. It just shows you how things have come full circle.
Well, so for any of you lawyers out there that are possibly dealing with this issue, or even non-lawyers, anybody dealing with issues of addiction or who are trying to get on the path to recovery, Brian, can you what do you think was the key to helping you make that transition and start that process? Because from what I understand, that's the hardest thing for most people to do. So understand they have a problem and to seek that help.
That's right. The tipping point for me may be different from the tipping point of someone else. I call it recovery tipping point. I hate to use the term rock bottom because rock bottom has become stereotyped that the worst has to happen for us to seek recovery. My career as a lawyer had ceased because of addiction. I remember walking into my psychiatrist's office for the first time after I had decided I was going to get sober. And we were talking about the things I needed to do. I refused to go to residential treatment. We talked about 12-step. And I said to him, I'm not going to either of these. I'm a busy lawyer. I have one client. I'm a busy lawyer. My one client needs me. And he said to me, Brian, and I remember this like it was yesterday, you may have a law degree, but you ceased being a lawyer a long time ago. You're an addict. And that was a very profound moment with me and my psychiatrist, who I still see today, a decade later.
So where can lawyers turn to if they need help? Is there a particular number, particular resource? Does it depend on the individual? Can you give us any tips?
The first thing I will do is give a shout out to the Texas Lawyers Assistance Program, or TLAP, which a lot of lawyers distrust, but it is confidential. That is one of the problems we have, is there is a huge distrust of the systems put in place for us to get help. TLAP is confidential. Communications are protected by statute. There is a distrust of telling people in law firms. Do law firms have systems put in place? A lot of them don't, even though there are huge risk management consequences, potential consequences for lawyers who are left to their own devices, who have problems with drugs and alcohol. So call TLAP. It's confidential. They will help you. Hopefully there's a place within your law firm you can go. Hopefully there's someone in your family you can talk to. There are all kinds of resources out there today that were not available when I was both in law school and as a lawyer. TLAP was in its infancy for me. We have 12-step groups that specifically assist lawyers, lawyers helping lawyers here in Dallas. You have traditional 12-step. If you're not a 12-step person, there is smart recovery, which is different. There is residential treatment if you get to that. And of course, if you're thinking about residential treatment, the law firm can't ask you why you're taking medical leave. Okay, so you can consider residential treatment and there shouldn't be a fear of it getting out. They can't ask you that question. You're taking medical leave, you're taking leave for something else. So there's holistic recovery. There are all kinds of pathways to recovery that didn't exist for me. Whatever the pathway, if you're struggling, tell somebody. Don't wait until there are consequences. Because if you're struggling right now, or if you know someone struggling right now, a lawyer, a law student, a paralegal, or whoever in the legal profession, as it stands right now, it's as good as it's ever going to get. It is a cumulative, progressive issue, and it will get worse. And eventually, there will be consequences.
Brian, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We're
Appreciate it.
it's great to have you here at the annual meeting. He's our keynote for the Adaptable Lawyer this morning. So for those of you that missed it, do get a copy of the book or connect with Brian. You're on Twitter, you're on LinkedIn.
I'm everywhere.
He is everywhere. You even rappel down a building to raise money and raise awareness. So this guy is literally everywhere. So reach out to Brian if nothing else. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Very, very important piece, very huge issue for our bar. Brian, thank you for being here. I'm Rocky Dhir, signing off for now from Texas Bar TV. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.